My name is KC Haririan. Work for First Federal Mortgage, and I've been here for about 10 years. I come from a family that was not well-to-do, and I was in 11th grade when my parents decided to send me away. Basically made the hugest or the largest, biggest sacrifice that a parent could make, and came to the United States in 1984 when I was 16 years old. I didn't speak any English when I came. On that day, there were 115 applicants applying to come to the United States, and I was the one and only person that was granted a visa. So I felt lucky at the time, but now looking back, I feel blessed that I had a purpose to leave my country, to come here, being one out of 115 applicants on that day, to be granted a visa. And when I came with $200 in my pocket and a suitcase, and that's all I had. Doing loans is my job, but my passion is making people happy. I'm able to help people realize the American dream. I always believe that God blesses people so they can go bless others. At the young age of 16, to leave everything and come to United States and start their life and make a life for themselves, and get to a point where I call this country my home now. And because of the blessings that I have, I want to be able to bless other people.
I am Sini Johnson. I work with Arcara Residential, selling real estate since 2009. Well, it was on December the 4th. It's between 10 o'clock and 10:30 in the morning. I was doing a BPO, doing a little drive-by in the morning. I had a young man to pass me on the street, turn around, and we were going opposite directions. So I thought he was lost because he stopped and kind of slowed down and kind of begged me to kind of stop. I cracked my window, and he proceeded to walk up to me, and with his hand in his pocket, no hat, just face exposed, he just said to me, "Get out of your car." And I was like, "I'm sorry?" He says, "Get out of your car now." I was like, "No." He proceeded to take his hand out of his pocket. He pulled out a gun. And unfortunate for him, he did not expect I also carry a gun. So I picked mine up and pointed it back at him. At that time, he took 2 shots at me. One aimed for my head, the other aimed for my side. Well, in the meantime, we're shooting at each other, unfortunately. I panicked and I drove off. I sped off. I had no idea this person had actually shot at me, at my head and at my side. 2 hours after that, I was at home and my husband was asking me for the card that the officer gives you for a report number. Well, I proceeded to stick my hand in my pocket because I had no idea where it was. Along with the card, I pulled out a shell where it had come through my door, meant for my side, and there was not a scratch on me, there was not a tear in my clothing, there was not a bruise on me. So I know without a shadow of a doubt that God had me protected, because there's no reason, physics-wise, that I wasn't hurt. The other bullet was lodged in my door frame of my car. So when the evidence tech came out, they had to remove it. So basically, the grace of God was with me. His angels were protecting me in that incident. Ownership, home ownership, that is important. This is a free country. We have that privilege. A lot of countries do not. The excitement to see a family or an individual just take that step to the American dream is so exciting for me. It's not that I'm moving in with them, but I think I get as excited as they do when those keys are handed over to them.
Sure. My name is Maurice Visi, but everybody calls me Mo. I was coming back home from college that I attended. It was late at night. I'd spent a lot more time at school, not studying, but playing in the evening. about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was driving home. And there's a little kind of a hill, and you come over the top of that hill, and you've got a quick blind spot in the hill. So I'm coming over the top of the hill, and at the very peak where you come over the top of the hill, there's a car. So we had a head-on collision. The next thing I remember, I'm awake in the car, and there are police officers and emergency folks cutting the car away because I was kind of cramped up in the car. I was in a position where I had crushed my chest, and it's like drowning. You know, when your lungs are compromised, they begin to fill up with fluids, and it's just like drowning. And I was blacking out and then coming back, blacking out and coming back. They said, we're going to take you to Jackson Memorial. And I said, no, I don't want to go there. And the EMT guy who just cut me out of the car and kind of get me together said, that's okay, I don't think you're going to make it there anyway. I was very fortunate. I got to the hospital. It was a teaching hospital. There was a gentleman there who was a teacher at 2:30 in the morning. And with his students, literally saved my life. There's a sidebar to that story. About 25 years later, I was managing a development, and in walks the same guy. He wouldn't be from Adam, but I remember him and his name. And he was looking at some of the projects that were available, and I said, look, you don't remember me, and you're not going to believe this, but it really happened. He turned around and he said, you look vaguely familiar. I said, do you remember about 25 years ago I gave him the story? And he said, I absolutely do. We saved your life. I said, I'm going to make you a deal on real estate you cannot believe. So yeah, look, that's one of the many challenges. I look at those as challenges in life, but the reality is I think there's a real blessing that's tied into the challenges. So if you can interpret both of those things together and recognize that there's a meaning for you beyond simply, hey, I spent 50, 60, 70 years in this planet, but there's other things that you can do to make it a meaningful place, not just for you, but for the people that surround you. And I think that happened early in my career. I don't suggest that everybody should go through those kinds of experiences, but in this case, I think it helped me mature very quickly. So under those circumstances, you know, you get reminded a lot of the fact that this is a gift. This life is a gift, and the people that are around you are gifts, and you ought to pay pretty close attention to how you react with them and how they feel about you. People will forget what you said. They will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And if that's the key, then I think I can take care of that. And if I can do good stuff, or at least try to do good stuff, and make them feel good about themselves and being a part of that good stuff, then I think I'm paying a little bit of those blessings that I got back.